Hello everyone and welcome to today's math lesson. I am so excited to jump on in with you guys and do some math. So let me go ahead and share my screen with you so you guys can see what is going on. All right, so today we will be talking about using a place value chart with word problems. My name is Miss B, and like I said, I am so excited to jump on in this lesson with you guys. I have done a place value chart lesson before, but this one is working with word problems. So maybe you guys have not worked with word problems before, maybe you have, but hopefully this lesson will just help you out a little bit in figuring out how to navigate these word problems. All right, so our objective and standard. Our objective is by the end of this lesson, you will be able to create and use a place value chart to assist you in solving word problems. So all that means is we are going to be able to solve word problems, and we are going to use the help of a place value chart to do it. I will teach you guys how to make that place value chart, and you will get to watch me do that before so that you guys have a good idea of how to do that. And then our standard is to fluently add and subtract within 100 using strategies based on place value, properties of operations, and or the relationship between addition and subtraction. So this is just one of those methods that is going to help us as we are learning how to add and subtract within 100 using different strategies. All right, so for the materials for this lesson, you guys have 3 different choices. If you just want to use a paper and pencil or whatever sort of writing utensil you have, that is fine with me. You can have a pencil, a colored pencil, pen, whatever you guys are most comfortable with. If you guys would like, you can also use a whiteboard and a marker. That is what I will be using today. I have a couple different colors of markers, which is always helpful so that we can use the different colors to help us with our word problem. And if you don't have that or don't want to use that, you could also use a tablet. If you use the tablet, just make sure that you have a place in your tablet that you can write and that you can solve word problems in, maybe like a note section. That is when it is appropriate to use that tablet. If you don't have those capabilities, then I recommend using a paper and pencil or a whiteboard and a marker. All right, you guys can go ahead and take this time to pause this video and grab whatever materials you might need. All right, so hopefully you've had a chance to grab those materials and you have them with you. We are going to go ahead and talk about the steps to solving a word problem. Like I said before, I don't know if you guys have ever worked with word problems before. When you first look at them, they might look a little bit scary, but they are not. When you follow these steps, they're actually so easy and so much fun to solve. So the very first step is to read the word problem. I know that that sounds like, of course, that's the first step, but that is the first step. And it is important that you take that step seriously and read very carefully. And the reason why we do that is because in word problems, there can be information that we don't need or maybe we do need. So when we take our time in reading it, we get to see exactly what the important information is in that word sentence. That's why it's important to read it carefully. All right, the second step is to draw. So if we are using some sort of graph or a chart, we will next draw the chart, which we will be using today. After we do that, we are going to write a number sentence. Now, if you've never heard the term number sentence before, don't be intimidated. All that is the problem that we are solving. So, for example, this is a number sentence. See? 4 plus 2 equals 6. That is a number sentence. So of course I will show you guys an example so you know exactly what to do, but don't be intimidated when you see the term number sentence. All right, and the last thing we are going to do is write a word sentence. And all that is just writing our answer in word form. Writing a complete sentence that tells us the answer to the question that was asked. That's it. And of course, I will go through all of these steps for you guys during this lesson, so do not worry about that. Let's just go over these steps one more time so that we can remember them. So first is read the word problem. Second, draw. We're going to draw our chart or draw any information you guys would like to represent visually. 3 is write a number sentence. That's just writing out the problem in number form. And 4 is to write a word sentence. And of course, that's just giving our answer in word form. So, all good to go on those. I think we have those steps down. You guys can always rewind this video if you want to look at these steps again, or if you feel like you want to write them down and take notes, that's also an awesome option. All right, let's keep going. Okay, so this is the very first problem. For this one, you don't need to take any of your writing utensils. Just watch me complete this problem. So here is our word problem. I'm going to do the first step and just read. Selena has a bag of 35 grapes. If she eats 17 grapes, how many does she have left? All right, I read the problem. So what is our second step? Our second step is to draw. So we are going to be creating a chart, and I'm actually going to stop sharing my screen for just one moment so you guys can watch me create this chart for you. So the chart we're using today is the place value chart. And what that is we separate our numbers, we decompose our numbers by their value. So on the very left side, we have hundreds. And of course, I'll show you this. Then we have tens and ones. All right, now today, our numbers most likely will not be large enough to use this hundreds column, but it's great to have it there just in case you need it, just in case you are completing some problems that do include hundreds. And if you guys are feeling like you are confident in this, then you can go for that. But today, we will mostly be using the tens and the ones. All right, I'm going to share my screen with you again so you guys can see the problem that we have. So here we have Selena has a bag of 35 grapes. 35. All right, so I'm going to draw that out and represent that on my chart. So when we hear the number 35, let's think, how many tens are in the number 35? Well, let's see. 10, 20, 30. Okay, so we have 3 groups of 10. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to represent that by just drawing 3 dots in there. And we know that if it is in the tens column, that represents a group of 10. Now let's see, how many ones do we have? When we write 35, we can see in the tens place we have 3, so we have 3 tens, and ones we have 5. So let's write out our 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. And while this may look like the same amount, we know, again, its value by which column it's in. So if it's in the ones column, we know that these dots are only worth 1. But if it's in the tens column, we know that those are groups of 10. All right, we are going to move forward. If she eats 17 grapes, how many does she have left? Now, before I go in and finish the problem, I want to write out my number sentence. I have already drawn out which I've already drawn out the chart. So now let's just write out the problem. The problem is going to be 35 minus 17 because she did have 35 grapes, but she ate 17 of them. So we're looking for that answer. I'm going to stop sharing my screen now that we have our number sentence down here so we can work this out together. All right. So since this is a subtraction problem, we will not be adding 17 to our chart like we would if it were a subtraction problem. For this problem, what we are going to do is we are going to take away 17 of these. All right, so when I first look at this problem, the first thing I notice is I'm taking away one group of 10 and 7 ones. But if you look at our ones column, we do not have 7 ones to take away. So what we have to do is erase one of our 10s and put 10 ones over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so now we have 2 10s and 15 ones. That still equals 35. We just made it so that we had enough ones to take away. Okay, now that we have enough ones in our ones column, let's look. Well, I know I want to take out, I'm going to use a different color so you guys can see. Okay, I know I want to take out 1 10. So I'm going to put an X through this 10. And let's look. There are 7 ones. I need to cross out 7 of these ones. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, perfect. Now that we've done that, let's see how many we have left. Ready? 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18. All right, so we have taken away our 1. We have also taken away our 7 out of our ones column. So now what we are left with is 18 because we have 1 10 here and 8 ones. So 35 minus 17 equals 18. Yes, that is correct. 35 minus 17 equals 18. But we are not finished because what is the last step we have to writing out our word problems? It's to put it in word form. So I am going to share my screen so that you guys can see my screen and we will write this out. So in word form, we already wrote the number form, or I'm sorry, the number sentence, but now we are going to write out our answer in word form. All right, so here is our answer. It is Selena has 18 grapes left over. Selena has 18 grapes left over. And there is our answer. As simple as that, that is our answer. So great job, guys. Now I would love for you to pick up your writing utensil or whatever materials you have, and let's do this next one together. Since I was just showing you that one, we are going to do this one together and maybe even try to work a little bit quicker. All right, so Austin has 15 cookies in the oven. His mom brought him 15 more cookies. How many cookies does Austin have altogether? Well, first of all, that sounds so good to have 15 cookies and 15 more. We've already drawn out our chart, but if you haven't done that, go ahead. You can include the hundreds if you want. I always like to have it to know if we need it, it's there, but you guys can just draw out the 10s and 1s if that works best for you. But now that we've drawn that, let's go ahead and write out our number sentence. So we know our first number is going to be 15. What are we adding to 15 in this word problem? 15. Awesome. Yes, the answer is 15. So we are looking for the answer to 15 plus 15. All right, so now that we have written that out in our number form, what we are going to do is represent that. So let's look at our very first problem. All right, our very first number. We have 15. How many tens do we have in the 15? 1. Awesome. So I'm just going to draw one little dot in the tens column. Now, how many 5s do we have in our ones place? 5. Awesome. So let's count it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That is 5 dots in the ones column. Perfect. Great job, you guys. Now let's look at our next number. Wait, it's the same number. These are just doubles. So let's write the exact same thing again. How many tens do we have? Just the 1. Now let's count out our 5s. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Perfect. So now we have those all represented in here, but there is something that I do want to show you guys. So when I'm looking at our ones, it looks like we have quite a few ones. Let's see if we can count the ones to make another group of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wow, we have 10 ones. And because of that, we can actually erase all of the ones over here and just put one dot in our tens column to represent that group of 10. So now all we have to do is count up our dots in the tens column to find our answer. Let's count. Ready? 10, 20, 30. Awesome. So because we got that group of 10 and we got to move it over there, we only need to count from our 10 section because there are no more ones. And we got 15 plus 15 equals 30. So hopefully you guys got the same answer, and let's write our word sentence to finish it off. Okay, so we can say Austin has 30 cookies all together. Perfect. You guys are doing awesome. Okay, moving on to the next problem. Let's erase or start a new problem. If you're not using a whiteboard, just go ahead. Don't erase what you've already done, but just start a brand new problem. I'm leaving up our chart here, our place value chart. Go ahead and write this in, and I will read our problem out loud. If you guys would like to read out loud with me, that is awesome. Haley won 18 bouncy balls at the state fair. Her sister won 11 playing the same game. How many bouncy balls do Haley and her sister have together? All right, so hopefully you have this chart down. When I see this problem, I can see that we are adding these together because she has 18 and her sister has 11, and they are asking what the answer is if we combine them, if we put them together, or if we add them. So let's go ahead and write out our number sentence. We've already drawn out our chart. So let's do 18 plus 11 equals. All right, so let's take a look at this very first number. It is 18. How many tens do we have in 18? 110. So let's just draw out our one little dot in our tens column, just representing that 10 in here. Now let's look at our ones place. How many ones do we have? You tell me. 8. So let's draw 8 dots in the ones column. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. All right. Now let's move on. Now that we've already represented our 18, let's move on to 11. Now in the number 11, how many tens do we have? We have one group of 10. So let's just go ahead and write our one dot in the tens column. Now how many do we have in the ones place? 1. So let's just add 1 dot over to the one side. Now, just by looking at this, I'm seeing that it looks like we have a lot of ones. Let me count to see if we have 10 or more ones, so we could make a group of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so we have 9 ones, which means we do not have enough to make a group of 10 over here. So we can go ahead and proceed with our problem just how it is. So let's start by counting our tens to find our answer. 10, 20, let's move over to the ones. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, and 29. All right, so our answer is 29. 18 plus 11 equals 29. Hopefully you guys were following along and got that same answer. Let's go ahead and write it in. And we can write our word problem or our word sentence out. So we say Haley and her sister have 29 bouncy balls. Whoops, this went behind my picture a little bit. All together. So that means combined, they have 29 bouncy balls. Perfect, guys. That was so awesome. Okay, we are going to try one more together, and then I'm going to give you guys some independent practice. So for this next one, let's go ahead and draw a new hundreds chart, or if you're using a whiteboard, you can erase what you have already done and use the same one. Okay, so I will start by reading out the word problem. That is always our very first step. Okay, here we go. Evan picked 32 apples at the orchard. He used 14 to bake apple pies with his mom. How many does Evan have left? Now, before we even move on, I just want to note, I can tell this is going to be a subtraction problem because they are telling us that he had an amount of apples and he took an amount away. He took 14 away. So they're asking us how many does he have left. So we know that this is subtraction. And the very first problem I showed you was a subtraction problem. So let's see if we can remember how to do this one together. So we should have already drawn out our chart with our tens, ones, and if you want to add the hundreds, that is awesome. But let's do our number sentence, which is 32 minus 14 equals. All right, so this is the number sentence that we are trying to solve. 32 minus 14. We can do it. Awesome. Okay, so let's go ahead and just start by representing our first number up here. So how many tens do we have in the tens place? Say it out loud. 3. Ready? 1, 2, and 3. And now how many ones do you guys see in this ones place? 2. Perfect. All right. So we represented the number 32 up here in our chart, but Remember, we are not writing 14 because we're not writing 14 with dots because we are not adding on 14. We're trying to take away 14. So, not adding that on, but let's take it away. The first thing I see when I look at this problem is that I know I'm going to have to take away 4 ones, and right here, I do not have enough ones to take away. So we're going to do the same thing we did in the beginning problem, in the very first problem, and take away a 10 and write out 10 ones. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Awesome. So now we've taken away one of our 10s and just replaced it with 10 ones. So it's still, the same amount is still here, but it just looks a little bit different. So we're going to take away 14. Now that we have enough ones, let's look. Let's take away, how many 10s are we going to take away? How many in the 10th place? 1. All right, so let's just go ahead and erase that 1. Perfect. Or you can just, an even better option would maybe be to just cross it out so that you remember it was there. Perfect. You remember it was there, but not there anymore. And how many ones are we going to be taking away? 4. Awesome. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Perfect. So we've got all of our numbers, or I'm sorry, all of our little dots. We've taken away 14 of those numbers. So let's count what's left, and let's start with the 10s. Ready? 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. All right. 18. Give me a thumbs up if you agree that 32 minus 14 is 18. Hopefully you guys are giving me a thumbs up and agreeing with me that that is the answer. All right, so now that we have completed our practice together, I want to encourage you guys, if you would like to erase your board or just start a new problem, here are a couple of problems for you guys to try. So go ahead and take this opportunity to pause this video and try out these problems on your own. Okay, hopefully you guys did, and here are the answers to the practice problems. So this is the word problem, the answer. It said Jane read 22 books altogether, and there is the number sentence. It was 13 plus 9 equals 22. This second independent practice answer is Carson had 4 slices of pizza left over, or 14, I'm sorry. I accidentally made a mistake there. It was 14. I missed the 1. Had 14 slices of pizza left over. And the problem there is 18 minus 4 equals 14. So there are your problems and your answers. All right, this was our objective, that you will be able to create and use a place value chart to assist you in solving word problems. Do you guys feel like we reached this objective? I know I sure do, and hopefully you feel that way as well. All right, so that is all for my lesson. I hope that you guys have an awesome rest of your day and keep using this math and these strategies to help you as you continue on in your learning journey. Bye-bye.